Hello there, San Giuseppe. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning at 2:15.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Well, we're,
what?
we're finally doing our podcast. I'm excited. How about you?
Yes. Oh, me too. Very excited. I bet
Right?
everyone else who's joining is also very excited.
I was taking a bet what would happen first, the podcast or Christmas?
I guess, yeah, we're not too far away from it, but a couple months. It was getting close.
Yes.
Yes. So, what's up, my friend? What's up? What is up?
Oh, plenty of stuff.
Mm.
I heard you designed your own video game. Want to tell people about it?
I did. Yeah, sure. So it's called for now. What is it called? Bluebot Adventures. Bluebot Adventures. That's it. Do you have it available to show off, or you want me to put it up on mine?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. There you go. Look, that looks familiar. So pretty much in a nutshell, if anybody knows about a game called Astrobot for the PlayStation 5, it's not quite like that, obviously, but that was my inspiration in a nutshell. That, Mario Brothers type of thing, just platformers in general. Just simple, fun. I mean, the objectives is pretty simple. You just kind of, go forward. Avoid the hazards, jump, jump, jump until you reach the end. You get the points. You kind of get like a high score. And you could just kind of just compare it with your friends. Share it. See who can pretty much compete for the highest score. Right now, it's all just local, so there is no leaderboard or anything. But um, there probably will be soon. We could try to work on that, right, San Giuseppe? A little bit.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
we'll see
definitely.
where that takes us. So,
Look at that sick drive. Wow.
right? Isn't that awesome? I wish I had that. Look at the amount of terabytes are in there. So specific.
Oh, I died.
That's okay. It is quite difficult. This does. Oh no, this does not have the second level. It's not officially up yet, but
Oh, so
second
there's a
level
second level coming. Ooh.
is, yeah, it's pretty much done. Just got to add a couple of things. I had my son test drive it. He's 8 years old. Uh, he got frustrated, but he kept going at it. That's kind of another one of my hope that it's even though it might get frustrating, I want it to be interesting and fun enough for people to kind of continue going and pushing through. So,
Trees in
and
the sky.
and yes, well, it's called so if you change one of the settings, go back to your settings, my friend,
I
and
was going to say, that's probably the level of detail.
yeah, so if you go to the distance, you see if you scroll down, well, scroll, but one of the bottom one of the bottom option options there. It says distance quality, character LOD.
I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
for it.
already
I'm
on
a little
high. Try
blind.
try to push it to ultra. See where it says high there? High default? Yeah, put that bad boy on ultra. Yeah, that one.
Huh.
Yeah, ultra that thing. Yeah, now press apply settings. It should fix that.
Ah, there it goes.
There you go. Yeah, so I tried to come up with this options menu to obviously make this bad boy run as smoothly as possible on a variety of systems. That was another one of my goals, to be honest, because games these days you got ray tracing all over the place, all these reflections, all this post processing. Which, look, don't get me wrong, looks beautiful, it does. But I mean, you need like a 5090 to be able to handle everything. And honestly,
Yes.
I have a 5090 and it's a nice card, but I don't know. It ain't that nice considering the price, to be honest. I'm not. I'll be honest. I ain't really impressed with it. It's good, but not for that crazy amount of money. And I think it's ridiculous, to be able to. We're in 2025. I expect to be able to handle every single game at minimum, 60 frames a second. But that bad boy has to be like 4K and completely ultra'd out, everything max. And you can't do that. Like, games these days they put the 5090 to shame. I mean, it just can't handle it, and I find that to be really frustrating. Yeah, I was very disappointed when I bought it. I kind of wanted to send it back. It was too much money for what I got. In any case, very underwhelming. And I decided when I was to create any game, like anything even going forward, um, I don't want people to have to buy a two, three, $4,000 card to be able to play it. So I mean, and I used Unreal Engine for this, and you can easily, just crank up some of the settings and put ray tracing everywhere and all this stuff that really just, it makes it look pretty, but you know, nobody can play it. So what's the point, right? So the graphics are obviously very simple. They try
Hmm.
to make them bubbly and cartoony. I figured I could get away with it's more acceptable, I think, having cartoony graphics that may not have the latest, bells and whistles. Um,
Yeah,
easier
look at
to,
Minecraft.
yeah, exactly. So I went with that, um, played around with some of the settings, try to make it look as good as possible while still being able to handle on older hardware. I have a 980 Ti, a GeForce GTX 980 Ti, that is kind of like my testing ground, for like the lower end stuff. I mean, I feel bad for anybody out there that has something less than a 980 Ti. I think right now I looked at it, they're going for like you can probably get them for like $70 on eBay. So not bad. I assume that in 2025, everyone or many people should have a graphics card that is hopefully at least as good as a 980 Ti. So if it runs well on that, it should run well on yours. It's an i5 6500, that machine, and it has 16 gigs of DDR3 memory. So it's not crazy terrible, but it's definitely not, high end. So that was my goal, to make it accessible for everyone. And the
I'm
price,
running, what am I running? A 3070, and it's smooth as butter.
hell yeah, baby, it is. Yeah, that 3070 will eat the 980 Ti. So it better run smoothly, or else I did something
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, right.
Yep. And right now everything is free, and I'm not expecting a dime from anyone. I just, if I ask for just to subscribe and like what I'm putting out, the more subscriptions I get, the more likes I get, kind of makes me feel like, all right, people are enjoying this thing out there, and kind of it makes me
Ah,
feel good. So I'm gonna just continue pumping out these levels. I can probably crank one out comfortably because I do have a full-time job and all that good stuff, a family. So I do have to split my free time, but I could probably comfortably crank out a new level every 2 weeks or so. If I really, really needed to, maybe a couple of days, but I said comfortably. So let's say two
nice.
weeks. But yeah, I would say just subscribe, like, and I will continue pumping this stuff out.
Awesome.
I have a I have quite a few new ideas for this title. I have a couple of others that older games I had made. I have this scary VR one that
Hmm.
if this goes well, maybe I'll kind of unveil that one. That was the game that uh, I didn't release or anything, but I just kind of played around with and shared with friends and family. But that works on the VR headset, and also you can play it locally on your computer, like in third person, which is that one's pretty cool. That one's a good one. It scared. Let's just put it this way. It did scare people that usually don't get scared very easily, like with the jump scares and stuff like that. It's not super
Hmm.
sophisticated, but seeing that made me happy. So put a smile on my face.
That's
Uh,
exciting.
I mean, I think so. So. As always, they will be free. Just subscribe and like, and I'll just keep pumping them out. And
It's amazing. Some of the paid horror games we played, paid games, they were terrible.
Yeah, there's
I don't think we should name names, but there was a couple that were just like awful.
yes, they are very similar in style.
Yes.
I think it's because Unreal Engine and really like, other engines, Unity and stuff like that,
Mm.
they're so accessible. I mean, look, I got into it. I'm not a genius, I can't code and everything. I'm using blueprints and stuff. But because they got a lot more accessible, and you have Blender out there, and people are, starting to 3D model and stuff like that. Um, people are kind of dabbling. Is that a word? Dabbling? Well, I don't know, but
Maybe dabbling,
dabbling,
dabbing.
yeah, whatever they're doing that, and it's a hobby for a lot of people. But I think, and myself included, I am, not a genius. Uh, remember the first game, Joe? The one that the back rooms game that I was trying to do? Oh boy, but
Oh yes.
that was horrific.
Oh
So
man.
that was so bad. That was terrible. But
Let's see if you
uh,
got a video of that or something.
I have some video, some test footage of that mess. And you know what, it had potential. Maybe one day we'll revisit that. But again,
Yeah,
that was kind of cookie cutter too. I was kind of following in the same footsteps as a lot of the other quick games. I mean, not to fault them, right? You got to start somewhere. God knows I did. I mean, look,
yeah, of course.
this game over here is not groundbreaking, and Astrobot is a big inspiration, but you got to start somewhere, right? So that's where I started. That's where I'm still starting. How long have I been doing Unreal? Maybe 3 years, and I've learned a lot. I am in no way, shape, or form. Not even I don't. I'm not even a quarter of the way there, man. There's a ton I don't know, and I'm sure a lot of things that I've done in this game, how I designed things and have that, those blueprints set up in the background. If professionals saw some of that, they'd probably be like, "Oof, God, why did you do it that way? This is not great." But you know what? It works. The frame rate is pretty good. It may not be perfect, but I'm learning every day, and the better I get, the better things will run, and the more complicated games I can create in the future. So yeah, I'm excited.
So in celebration of our first podcast, I asked some of our friends to come up with some questions for you.
Oh boy, I'm
If you don't
scared.
mind, I'll ask
I'm
you a couple.
I'm
It's only seven,
nervous.
not too bad.
7 questions. Oh my God. Okay.
Seven. Lucky
Oh
number
my
seven.
7. Okay. What? Give them
So
to
you
me.
ready for number? All right, number one.
Maybe.
What was your initial inspiration for designing a 3D platformer?
Initial inspiration. I think, you know what? I probably went over it in my humongously long speech that I just finished a little bit. So I'll just kind of go over it again. I loved Astrobot. My son loves Astrobot. Loves Mario, Crash Bandicoot, like loves platformers. So I was like, prior to this, again, I had created that horror game, and my son is not a fan. Let's just put it that way. Does not like horror, and I kind of felt bad because these
Oh,
these
not yet. I'll get there.
these I don't know. I hope. I love horror. We all know that. But so I was like, all right, let me do this horror thing. I like it, but I felt bad because my son, he's always with me, and he couldn't be while I was making that game. I have the villain, which is she's not very. She's like a scary looking woman that's
He's too young to
following
dramatize.
you. Yeah, the poor kid. I couldn't. He couldn't be around, and it's hours and hours a day worth of work. And while I was making that, we spent less time with each other because he wouldn't be around looking at that, and I didn't want him to have nightmares and stuff at night. So when that was done, I was like, you know what? I gotta make something that my son and I can look at and work on together. Actually, believe it or not, he gave me a couple of ideas for the Blue Bot Adventures game. Believe it or not, so
Wow, I love it.
how he did that was
Yeah, he's
Oh my
grown up
gosh,
around
excuse me.
screens. He's probably an expert at this point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a good kid. He's
Yeah.
he's a nerd right now, like his dad. But he yeah, I gave him my project file on his own computer, and he started placing things around, and made his own level and stuff. And for the most part, it was like impossible to beat because he didn't put platforms where they really should have been. Like there's no way you could have jumped to them. But he did place certain hazards together in a way. He rotated them a certain way, and he did kind of he did
He
things
got
that
the gist of it.
I would have, yeah, I wouldn't have thought about putting them in that way. And it's like, oh, look at that. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And I used some of that. I did. He really did help. And obviously he tests them out all the time. And as I said before, he gets angry sometimes. So I may have to kind of cut down on the difficulty level. But yeah, so the inspiration was bonding a little bit closer with my son on this next project, and considering that the fact that he loves Astrobot and just platformers in general, it's like, you know what? Why not try something like that? So
Let's tell. I remember when you were first learning it. You and him recreated the first level in Mario 64. That was
I,
pretty cool.
I did. Yeah, Mario 64. Again, he loves Mario. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, okay, let's create something that, again, my son and I can bond over. And he made his own version of that Mario game. Again, like impossible to beat because he's not putting things, around where you kind of they need to be. But
Yeah,
he had fun. He still has fun. He still kind of makes his own levels and plays with me during this whole process. So it's good. It's what, bonding with my little 8-year-old. Why not?
I love it. All right, next question. Which aspect of the game are you most proud of and why?
That's a good question. Which aspect? That is a good one, Joey. I guess one of the things that was like at the top of my list was hardware requirements. Again, knowing that people are getting frustrated, a lot of gamers are getting frustrated with the way the technology is kind of moving forward, and the amount of money that they got to spend to play anything new nowadays. Granted, looks a lot better than mine graphically, but still, it's no excuse, man. I mean, at the end of the day, a game just has to be fun, right? I mean, it could look gorgeous and stuff. I mean, and listen, I'm all about graphics. I love a game that has juicy graphics. I love it. But I mean, if you alienate, 95% of the average class, citizens, I don't know, it's not fun for them. Like if you gotta turn down the graphics for low quality at like 480p with upscaling, and it looks like a blurry mess and it's just nasty, for the average consumer, I don't know. It's to me it doesn't seem fair. So that was one of my biggest goals, is to make something that just ran well, for all hardware, and just trying to push that. It wasn't. I had to make a lot of sacrifices in the visual department, but I am proud of that. That this game can run well on not so amazing hardware. So that is one of the most proudest things, to have a smooth gameplay experience on something that is a little older.
Yeah, that definitely is useful because we're at the point now you have to decide, do I pay rent or buy a card?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's not fair. It really isn't.
Yeah,
And I didn't want I hope that these developers, they kind of start moving away from that. I mean, ray tracing is beautiful. Like it looks great. The lighting looks great. Global illumination, all that. It does look pretty. But we've had shortcuts and fake effects, fake lighting, fake reflections and stuff for years. I mean, years. Forever we've had those. And you know what? They looked good. Like no one complained. I mean, I know I never did. Like who just stares at a mirror in a game and just stares at it to make sure, oh, look, everything is reflecting the way it's supposed to. No, nobody does that. I think this tech came like, well, some of it
Mm.
came like there was no real reasoning behind it. Like we had standard current technology at the time that fulfilled all those needs. Like we had reflections, we had, you know, global illumination. Yeah, it was baked, so it wasn't like, real
It was a real
time, but
time.
does it matter? I mean, it looked good. Like it wasn't a thought in anybody's head. Like, oh look, that the rain doesn't look as reflective as it should be. Nobody said that. I mean, who said it? So that kind of came out of nowhere, and now they're using all this all this upscaling tech that makes things look like crap. Everything is blurry all over the place just to compensate for the amount of power that all these perfect reflections, kind of take up. It's not good, man. I would rather them kind of go back to how things used to be. Focus on like nice stuff, better AI, physics, man. Oh, physics. Get some destruction in there. Get some particles flying around. Get some stuff happening in the scene. Like I would rather have destruction than like a shiny car that's reflecting. Oh, look at every brick in that building. Look, you could see it in the car. No, nobody really cares that much. Just fake it. Faking it will look 90% as good and give you a 90% performance back. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just my take. So what do I know? I'm just a little guy.
of course. Oh, man. All right, let's do number three. And that one is, what was the most difficult challenge you faced during development?
Ah, difficult. Yes, quite a lot. Oh my God. It was not easy. Again, I am still a noob. There's a lot that I don't know. Oh my God. It is crazy. YouTube and Google are my best friends. They have been
Yes.
for, man, this took what? Sad to say, I think what you guys see so far, this took like 8 months of uh,
Wow.
of work. Yeah, and not 1 or 2 hours here and there. Like it was pretty much daily for 4 or 5 hours a day. It was a long time, and gosh, a lot was difficult, Joe. A ton was difficult. Gosh, what was the most difficult? God, it doesn't end. Like everything was tough. I would say, as silly as it sounds, um, like the way the save structure works. So I was going back and forth with, okay, how is this going to work? Is this going to be Do I just have one big level, like one level that's like half an hour long or something like that? That's just, you kind of keep going up and up, and as you progress throughout this one single level, things just get progressively harder. And I think that's what I had in mind at first. And as I was creating, my test levels, I started realizing, man, I'm putting a lot of stuff in this level because, it's half an hour long. There's a lot going on, and I did my due diligence with what little I know about optimization. So like culling, I've used LODs. I have the blueprints that like whenever you lose certain blueprints and actors and stuff within the system would kind of get destroyed, so you don't see them anymore. So I did my due diligence and as best as I could. There's a bunch that I have no idea about. I simplified some. The way that materials are made. I used as many instances as possible for models and actors, child actors and stuff. I used a lot of instances for materials. So I hear, I don't know, I didn't do much testing on it, but according to everything I've seen and read on Google, that's supposed to help with performance. So I figured, all right, let me use that. Again with the reflections, I'm using cube mapped reflections, so they're not like real, but they look good for what they are. So still with that, I'm still putting a lot of stuff in the level, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't make one level that's so large. Maybe I should cut it up and make like complete separate levels. You start, you finish, you go to level two. You start, you finish, go to level three. And because I didn't have that in my head initially, I had to come up with a save system that would save certain aspects of the game, reset certain aspects when you fall, when you lose, and then bring certain variables from one level to the other. And it sounds silly. It sounds like it would be easy. You save everything. Man, for some reason, like, whew, it really, it wasn't. I had a lot of problems, like, going from level one to level two, things wouldn't show up, and I had to come up with this bootleg way of whenever you lose, whenever the character dies, because it's like a one. Right now, it's a one. You get hit once and you lose. So whether you get hit by a hazard or you fall down. So I came up with. Oh my God, what a pain! I came up with a way, and I'm sure it's bootleg. If a real developer looked at the way I made it, they're probably like, "Oh my God, what did you do?" But for what worked for me in my own limited amount of not with my own limited amount of knowledge, I have pretty much a variable that changes every time you get a hard drive. So right now, and I don't think I really like that. I might actually change it, but the hard drives are very important to get. Like so, the save states, the you kind of need those. Those are like a requirement. If you don't grab a hard drive, then the game never gets told to load all the new pickups
Mm.
that occur later on. Um, and you could literally like you
You
won't be
can't
able to
progress.
progress. Yeah, it's kind of like a
Mm.
like a soft lock, if you will. So I think that's a mistake on my part, and I'm kind of aware of it. And I might actually go back and change it to. I kind of like the little hard drive though. I think it's cute looking, and I'm gonna miss if I take that away. So right now, everybody, do not forget to pick up the hard drives, or you will not be able to beat my levels. Don't forget. I
I
might
think I
change it.
found out the hard way.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yes. So that goes. There were many reasons why I did that, and one of them is because I didn't want like if there was a power up next to you or like a capacitor, for instance. So where every time you get a capacitor, you gain a certain amount of points. I don't know if it's like 50 or 100 points towards the end. Towards the score at the end of the
Mm.
level. I forgot how many points I put on that thing, but I didn't want the person to kind of like if there's like a group of 10 capacitors right next to like a save point, I didn't want them to grab the save, grab them all, jump off, load, grab them all, jump off, and then like rack up their points. Like, oh, look at this little loophole. So I was thinking of that. I was like, all right, there has to be a way that whenever you lose, those capacitors, like everything kind of resets up until the last checkpoint. So people don't kind of use that,
Mm.
to bootleggedly gain a higher score than they should.
Got
Uh,
it.
but, that little thought, oh my gosh, it kind of spiraled out into all these other things regarding saves that I never
Hey,
thought would be an issue.
you fell down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God, dude. And I fixed one thing and now this didn't work and now this thing doesn't work and then things that you don't even think of when
It's a
you
house of
load.
cards.
Oh my God, that took forever to kind of figure out. And it's sad to say because it sounds so simple, but when you do this, I get coding in general, right? Computers are so fast, but they really are, I don't want to say dumb, but they really need the full instructions of like what they need to do because they can do things so fast, but unless you tell them everything in a specific order and you know like they just
Yeah,
stop.
details
But
matter.
yeah, they really do. I realize that so much more now that I started doing these Unreal projects.
Hmm.
But I have a lot of respect for them. It's still kind of cool how things work. So that was a
Hmm.
very long answer, man. I'm sorry. What's the next one?
Very long, but very well thought out.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right, so for the next one, how do you hope players will feel when they experience your game for the first time?
Man, I want people to like it. I want people to be able to enjoy it, whether it's just by themselves or, sit down with their little 8-year-old and just kind of hand the controller off to them and try to just beat each other's high scores. I'm creating this to be, you know, good for all ages, so there's nothing raunchy in there. Nothing inappropriate. I want it to be nice, simple, family fun. Um, I am thinking about doing like a two-player co-op, which would be cool. I know my son loves two-player co-op, so I've been looking into it a little bit, and I got to figure out, how I should kind of have the gameplay incorporate two people. Is it going to be like a race to the finish, or do you guys got to help each other out, kind of like a split fiction kind of split fiction? No, not split fiction. Split. I think yeah, split fiction. Great game. Oh my God, great game. Haven't beaten it yet, but great game nonetheless. You help each other out. You do one puzzle while the other person does another. Do you hop on one platform waiting for the
Uh,
other one to go up? So I got to think about that a little bit. So that might come in the future. But I want them to be able to one play it smoothly and just thoroughly enjoy the simplicity of it. Kind of like, old school games used to be. They didn't have to have a crazy storyline or anything. Just, here's point A, here's point B,
yeah,
get to the finish.
sounds good. Yeah, I remember, when I was a kid playing Mario Luigi.
Hell yeah.
Of course, giving my dad the controller for all the hard levels.
Yep. And then
Mhm.
me and my brother, when we played, I was better at it than he was. So back in those days, you would continue playing until you lost. The poor
Oh
kid,
wow!
the poor kid would be waiting. for, for, I'd get up to like the ending levels,
Oh my
finally
God!
lose, and then it's like, oh my God, these poor kids starting on level one. So,
Oh
you know, but still, you know what? Good times, man. It was
yeah.
good times. Good times.
So looking back, is there anything you would change or do differently in the development process?
Oh boy. What I do differently? What would I do differently? Gosh. Um. That's a tough one because since I'm new, there's a ton again that I still don't know, right? And I'm still very much learning. So if you're asking what would I do with the knowledge that I have now or going back with the knowledge that I had then, would I wish I did things differently? Because if it was the latter, no, I think everything that I did with the knowledge that I had at the time was perfect. I mean, I made a ton of mistakes. The whole save state thing killed me. But it was just part of the learning process, like you gotta go through pain
Yeah,
before you realize the mistakes that you made. You learn from them, and there's really no substitute for just like trial and error. And God knows I did a lot of errors, Joseph, a ton of errors, but
like you
y-
said, that's how you learn.
that's how you learn. So I have no regrets with everything that led up to this point. Long days, some long nights. I mean, I feel bad that had to spend a little bit less time with like my family during some days, and I would have to keep looking at the time, being like, oh my God, look, it's 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. I should really spend some time with them upstairs because after a while I do feel bad. So I had to like, all right, Mike, get off of this thing. You gotta get up and go. So maybe
Sometimes
just
it helps to come back with like fresh eyes.
yeah, a lot of time. I mean, I forgot what the issue was, but there was something I was really stumped with this game, and I forgot how severe it was. Like, whether it was game breaking, where it's like, oh my God, the game
Hmm.
just, without this fix, or if until I figure this out, like the whole game could be scrapped because it's so vital. I forgot if it was that vital or not, but I know that it was a pain in the butt, and whatever it was. I I shut it off. I was so angry. I shut it off. I'm like, all right, forget this for now. I gotta cool off because this ain't working. I go upstairs. I watch a show, but I'm not really watching it because I'm thinking about Unreal, and it's like, man, like, how could I do that? I'm thinking, and then I start to doze off, and I go to and then we usually go to sleep on the couch, and then we go upstairs. But when I went to bed, I kept thinking about it, and it's like I think I might have, and I don't know if I either had a dream or I just kept thinking about it while I was falling asleep. Whatever it was, I did wake up with an idea of, hey, maybe if I do it this way, it sounds like it could work. Um, Let me try it out, right? So like that sleep did help. It's like I came up with this way, this method of making it work. I went downstairs, I put Unreal on, and I tried the exact thing that I was, that came to me, and it did work. I was like, oh, look at this! Wow. Sometimes, dude,
Nice.
you have to walk away. Like you just gotta like, all
Yeah.
right, it's done for today, done for a couple of days, a week if you have to. You really do need to walk away because when you get too stressed and you get too into something and you just need to walk away, get a breath of fresh air, and just all right, it'll happen.
And just come back and attack it.
Exactly, attack it a different
Yep.
way, and whatever it was worked. I wish I could remember what it was, but I know it was a pain, and I know I was very happy when I woke up the next morning. So and it worked. So
I love it.
did I even answer your question? Was that even it?
Ex-
I don't even remember what the question was. I always go off on all these tangents. I talk so much.
no, you did good. You did perfectly good. No, like you said, what we were talking about if you do anything differently, and you
Oh,
said,
definitely, man. I did go off on a tangent.
based on the knowledge you had at the time, you did the best,
Yes,
and
yes,
it certainly shows that when you play your game.
yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you ask me that again with my current knowledge, what would I do differently with my current knowledge? I think I would, if I had to go back in time, if I had to just make this game from scratch for whatever reason, like if my computer exploded and all my 500 hard drives that I have, just everything got wiped all at the same time, and I had to recreate this thing from scratch, I think I would dive into a little bit a better method of that. Every time you lose, you respawn all the items situation, because I think that's a little not quite right. I think I would figure out the best method of having that created
Hmm.
and build that out properly. I think if whatever game I come up with next, if it's if it uses a mechanism that's similar, I'm going to definitely take my time to build that out properly and make sure I don't really start the project until I get that portion um, figured out. That's one thing I would love to do over, but not at this point.
Cool.
Not right now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely looking forward to some updates in the future.
Oh yeah, like I said, the second level is pretty much done. Just I don't even know what it might actually be done. I gotta look at it again. I had my son play it yesterday, and I know he kind of struggled. Maybe it's a little too hard, but I guess I'll have everyone, decide, let me know. I mean, I do want the levels to progressively get more difficult. I just don't want them to get too difficult too quickly. I don't know if I don't want to deter anyone from, from playing it if it's too difficult. So if it is too difficult, let me know and maybe I'll kind of water things down a little bit here and there. But eventually, yeah, I want like the final levels, whatever they are, 10, 20, 100, who knows how far this goes. But I do want them to eventually be like borderline impossible. And I think that's when it's going to get really fun. Because, you have, Mario Brothers does this and Astrobot certainly did.
Oh yeah,
like
of course.
like playing the main game is doable, right? You got some levels that are like, oh man, this is a little bit of an annoyance, but for the most part, those games, you for just a general person, you sit down, a casual gamer, you sit, you play it, you enjoy it, you have fun. But then, if you want to get, the trophy, the platinum trophy for PlayStation, or just like, you want to
The
unlock all the
achievement.
levels, yeah, you want to 100% it. That's when that stuff gets tough, man.
Mm.
Mario is ridiculous. Some of those Mario levels, oh man, I don't know who designed those things. It is crazy.
Some of them are evil.
Oh my God, terrible. Like, for me, I can't do some of them. Like, I I just can't do some of them. So that's kind of how I want it to be. For the most part, I want everyone to be able to enjoy them, with a decent little difficulty level, but not hopefully not too crazy. But towards the end, it's going to be like, the pros that will like you kind of need them to be able to like
Yeah.
be able to beat it. I want it to be much more difficult than how it is today. So, and I already have a couple of things in my head that I'm thinking about, like new hazards and stuff, introducing
Mm.
new things to make that happen. So we'll see.
That's exciting. Can't wait.
Oh yeah. Me neither.
All right, we got two more.
Oh my God. It's gonna be
You
two
ready for the
hours
next
long.
one?
Oh my God. Yes. I bet you regret having 7 questions now, don't you?
Hey, originally it was 10.
Oh my God. It would have been a 3 hour ordeal over here. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I thought things through.
Oh man, you know me, my friend. I'll talk for days. So, what's the
Days
next
and
one?
days and
Oh,
days.
I bet. Is your ear tired yet or what?
I'm sorry, did you say something? I got to tune you out there for a second.
Yeah.
What is one small detail in your game that you love but you think most players might miss?
That's a good one. Small details. Small detail. What is in there? You know what? Man, is it sad to say probably nothing right now? I haven't. I'm thinking about putting in like little Easter eggs, but truth be told, there's no Easter egg or eggs in them yet. I do have. I do have something that I think is kind of neat. It's like a neat effect that I figured, hey, let
Hmm.
me um, let me incorporate this, excuse me, into my game and make like a level out of it. It's the code is already there. Everything has been tested and it does work great for what it is. It hasn't been in the first level yet. Oh my God, I'm dying. See what happens when you talk too much, Joey? I need like a thing of water or something. Jeez.
You can go get a drink.
Yeah, I know, right? I will very soon. Um, so yeah,
Exit
there
for your game.
is, yeah. So there, yeah, these things are made, and I am gonna make like a level out of it, but it wasn't introduced in the first level yet, and it's not introduced in the second either. So I might put it in the third, and that I am proud of, but it's no one knows about it yet. When if I'll give them a hint, if anyone has ever suffered from a graphics card artifacts issue, they might appreciate the effort that I put into this effect when they see it in the game. Trust me, when you see it, you will not be able to miss it. I promise you. So, a little bit misleading with the question because they won't be able to miss it, but I am proud of what I was able to achieve
Early
visually
spoiler. I
with
like it.
with that effect. So, you'll see. Maybe in the third level, who knows?
All right, before you die, we got one more question.
Oh my God, yes.
We made it to the end. Are you proud?
Okay,
I'm proud.
I wonder how many people that are watching made it till the end. If you
I don't
did,
know.
if you did, please leave it in the comments and actually say, yeah, how long is this video, Joe? I don't even know how to check, but I know it's quite long. If you made it, leave it in the comments. I am very curious to see how many people actually lasted through this whole video.
Well, we could always go back and cut things out.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Ah,
Through the magic of editing.
magic of editing. God knows we need it.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we might have actually covered this just now, so I think you might have gotten off easy.
Oh, look at this. I saved everybody another half an hour of
Yes.
watching.
What's planned for your future development of your game?
So the future brings, yeah, actually, we, I think we did cover parts of it, pretty much everything, really. Possible two-player action, local co-op. Nothing, nothing multiplayer just yet. God only knows. I mean, maybe, if we can look into that at a later date, but more for something that's going to probably happen sooner rather than later. I would say two-player action, definitely more games, different hazards, that cool effect that I'm kind of proud of, with those graphics card artifact users. Um, yeah, just more content, more levels.
Yeah, tell me how they can play it.
You can play it by clicking on this, I guess, the description within this video. On the bottom, I will have a link to my MediaFire downloading page where you can just simply download it, extract it, double click on the executable file, the .exe file, and you can start enjoying it for free on there immediately. You may have to download a couple of little prerequisites that's just from like Unreal Engine that you kind of need. But I mean, if you're a gamer, you most likely have all that stuff anyway. So it also works with a remote. So Xbox remote, PlayStation 4 or 5 remote, and obviously mouse and keyboard work well too. So start enjoying it now. It's really fun and it's free. I mean, you literally can't beat free. So go ahead, enjoy, share, and subscribe and like, please.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. It was really informative. Looking forward to doing some more videos in the future.
Awesome, man. Thank you, San Giuseppe. As always, it's been a pleasure. Have a great day, and everyone, enjoy.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.